Somehow I've sold tens of millions of exercise DVDs without having to sell. And the way that I've done that is through testimonials. I took that knowledge, understanding that people don't necessarily want to hear from you, the business owner, the creator. They want to hear from other people. They want to know, like, does this thing really work? And so I want to share with you what I've learned about the power of testimonials. If you're someone who feels weird and creepy selling, if you're uncomfortable when you get to the part where you have to ask people for money or tell people about your product, even though you're really proud of it, you are going to love this episode. Testimonials are one of the best, most underutilized tools that entrepreneurs are forgetting how important it is. Hey, my name is Chalene Johnson. Welcome to this edition of Build Your Tribe. I want to make the case for especially those of you who are not comfortable selling, and for those of you who are really good at selling and aren't using this incredibly powerful tool. It's a strategy, really. To bring it all the way back, I want to share with you how it was I learned the power of these testimonials. So I created a fitness program 100 years ago, and I had people who were doing this workout. Now, I believed in the workout. I was in love with the workout. But when we started marketing it on infomercials, and I didn't know this, but the experts that we used whose, bottom line was on the line, like they had to make millions of dollars because they're spending millions of dollars to sell these programs. It wasn't me that they used to sell. It was people's experience. People who had been using this fitness program they designed and hearing their stories. Just having them share with people their own experience is what helped us to become a #1 infomercial. And what I learned is that there is a recipe and there's a reason why testimonials work. So whether it is a $9 product that someone's selling on Amazon, or a course for $2,000, or something that people are buying on infomercial, or something that people see on your Instagram stories, it is so much more powerful when we hear about other people's experiences. You know that to be true. I mean, the last time you went on Amazon, right? I guarantee if there were two products, they look the same, about the same price, but one has massive amounts of reviews and the other one has no reviews. Have you done that? Have you seen that before? I have. I'm not going to buy from the link of the brand or the product that doesn't have any testimonials because I want to know it actually works. Not because the description tells me it works, but because other real people say it works. So the #1 thing you want to remember is that people want social proof. We believe our friends and our referrals more than we trust the creator. I mean, they have an agenda. But the person who's a customer and left a review or shared about their own experience, that person is singing its praises oftentimes, hopefully, without being compensated. And by the way, the FTC has really cracked down on people who are now have been found out for using like fake testimonials or making up AI testimonials or even being paid for their review. That stuff doesn't work anymore. So I want you to think about using your customer's experience. And if you're someone who you're like, well, how do I use a testimonial if I haven't sold anything yet? You can get testimonials. It's just by simply asking someone who you've helped, hey, can you share with me in a couple of words how it was I've helped you? Doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be a paid customer. People just want to know, does your thing, does it work? So don't be afraid to even text if you're brand new starting out. Just text some of the people you've helped. Say, hey, can you send me a few sentences about how fill in the blank helped you? A good testimonial or collection of testimonials can overcome other people's objections. Think about yourself when you're going to buy something. There are questions you have like, well, will it work in this particular situation? Will it work under these conditions? For example, I wanted to buy this little drone I saw on TikTok. And I kept seeing this thing over and over and over again. I'm like, well, all these people are trying to make money selling it, but I don't know how to operate a drone. Do I have to have a license? Is it really that dummy proof? And the only way I could get that objection answered and feel like the answer was credible was by looking at reviews. And there were tons of reviews. I literally bought that thing based on every person's review that they overcame my objections. I want to know, is it lightweight? Is it really that easy to operate? I wanted to know, is the quality good? I wanted to know, do I have to have a license to operate this thing? Every single objection I had was answered in the testimonials. A lot of times customers aren't even looking at whatever objections you're overcoming in your copy or in your description. They're looking at people's reviews. So it's so important that you remember that's where we build trust. We trust people who have no real agenda. We really believe people when we hear a little bit in their story that looks like our own, right? Like, so when I was reading perfect example, when I'm reading those reviews for the little drone, I was looking for someone who wasn't a gearhead, wasn't someone who like collects cameras and knows already how to operate a drone. I was looking for someone who was like me, who was like, I can barely use my iPhone. Am I going to be able to operate this thing? So remember that when you're putting together your own testimonials, look for those sentences, those people who are going to appeal to a certain audience that you're trying to reach. And feel good about asking for your customers' experiences. It's an incredible, you don't even have to call it a testimonial. When we reach out to our own students, our own customers, we say, hey, we want to tell the world about your success. So we don't say like, hey, we want you to write a testimonial about your experience. Like, what's in it for them? Rather, hey, we want to share with our audience, with our potential customers, we want to share your success. We want to highlight what you've been able to do, whether it's, weight loss or someone transforming their business, whatever it is you've been able to help people to do, rather than reaching out to those customers and saying, hey, create a testimonial for me. Say, look, I want to share your success. That's what you're doing. When people are reading testimonials or seeing a testimonial, they are looking for the transformation. Remember, people buy because it saves them time, saves them money, helps them avoid pain, helps them to transform, to feel something, to be something, to change in some way, to improve, right? Or it just makes us feel good. So remember those 5 elements when you're looking at your best testimonials. Before we go much further, we've looked at our stats and are shocked by how many people are watching the show but aren't subscribed. So if that's you, we've noticed that the people who are subscribed are like really cool and good things are happening for them in their lives. And so like, I wouldn't want you to miss out on that. I mean, hello. So, I mean, it's free. Why wouldn't you subscribe? Subscribe. Hit that like button. Back to the content. Now, briefly, what types of testimonials work the best? Well, video testimonials are awesome, but they're hard to get, right? I want to give you, like, this is something I discovered this year that has blown me away. And I've been creating testimonials and, cultivating great content and curating the perfectly worded testimonial. And we've tried everything. We've tried to send a script to people and say, answer these questions so you can get a great video testimonial. You want to know how you get the best video testimonial? Do a Zoom call with your top clients. With the person who you know has had success, do a Zoom call with them. Let them speak directly to you. Then you'll get their emotion. It'll feel real. It will be real. It'll be raw. It'll be unscripted. We've all seen like the infomercial where it's so obvious that person is a paid actor, and if they're not, it feels like they're a paid actor, so it's not believable. But when you put now you've got video footage, right? Of course, obviously you're going to let them know that you're recording it, you'd like to use it, and then you just edit it down. When you're editing down your testimonial videos, think about the words that matter. We don't need the whole people don't want the whole backstory. The only thing people are listening for is, can you overcome my objection? How did you transform? How did this work for you? We don't need all the extra details. Chop, chop, chop. Like brief. Be very, very brief. But if you don't have the opportunity to collect video testimonials, email your customers. Just using their photo, their first name, and maybe the last initial, and 1 or 2 sentences is a great way to get a testimonial. If you want to get testimonials from your super high-powered, successful clients, the ones who don't even have time to open up an email, here's my tip for you. Write the testimonial for them and say hey, I've written this for you, but I would love for you to just tweak it. And if there's any words you want to change so that it's in your words and it's actually something you would say, I would really appreciate it. Or if you want to write something from scratch, that's great. People do that for me all the time, and I love it. Usually it's enough to get me started, and then I give them a full-blown testimonial. But just the thought that someone cared enough to recognize I'm super busy and I might not have time to do this makes it so much easier. So you're reducing that friction that you might otherwise experience with someone who's super busy, and aren't we all? Testimonials are a game changer. They are social proof. They need to be in your email marketing. They need to be on your sales pages. They need to be on your landing pages. They even need to be on your opt-in pages. This is how we create trust. And even if people know us, they need our solution. If they don't trust us, they don't buy, they don't take action. So if you want people to take action without you having to do the selling, testimonials are the way to go. Thanks so much for joining me on this edition of Build Your Tribe. My goal is to be brief, to be bright, to make it fun, and then be done. We're done. Please do me a favor. Write a little blip on Apple iTunes or wherever it is you listen to this podcast or watch this podcast, if perhaps you are on YouTube, and tell us which episode did you get something that was incredibly valuable. I would love for you to write that testimonial. And as always, thank you for spending your time with us. There's nothing you have that's more valuable, so I appreciate it.